Hi everybody, Nick here. This is a public YouTube clip because normally I keep them all unlisted, and it's just a final attempt to share what have I learned about barefoot running as my time as a coach and as time as a amateur runner. And I'm lucky enough to live, as you can see, next to a beach, so I can happily tootle up and down here every day or most days for the past 20 years. Okay, I'm also a yoga practitioner and a yoga teacher, so all of those sorts of things. I think the big takeaways, and I've read loads of books. I mean, I'm not going to mention any books, any personalities, any types of shoes. Okay, so the things I found about barefoot running are you become a lot more aware of the placement of your feet. Your feet become a little bit stronger, more proprioceptive. You become a lot more aware of your balance position. I see a lot of runners who I coach in shoes who are slightly out of balance, and you become a lot more aware of those sorts of things when at least you do one little tootle in your feet once a week. Okay? A good conversation I had, or a telling conversation I had, was with a runner who said, "Oh, yeah, I tried some barefoot shoes, but my hips started to hurt and my lower legs were a bit sore. I stopped myself from saying conditioning," which comes to my next point, is that you become a lot more aware of the connection that we all have inside our bodies as we go from feet to ankles to knees to hips to spine to shoulders to elbows. Okay, there's the whole body element of that. Okay, the other thing is a bit of a white person's curse is I notice an awful lot of runners who just jog around. Here's me just jogging around, really, is that we keep our legs low, and I've noticed when I'm running in my bare feet, my lower legs are a little bit higher, so they do seem to drift up and float up a bit easier. Okay, and there is no question my body position in space has a sense of quality about it that I'm kind of pleased with. So in other words, what happens is that I have become more aware of the subtleties of movement when I'm doing this. Okay, Garmin not on, Strava is on, but it's in my little pocket somewhere. Okay, I'm not watching it, and I'm just tapping out a lovely sense of feeling and relaxation, and I think you get a lovely sense of that when you're doing this. I do wear shoes, I do wear trail shoes, but I don't spend my time being distracted by those words shoes. If you find a shoe that is comfortable, please wear it. You can see my shoes are there. They are Nike Frees. Got them on eBay for 20 quid, and they're falling apart, but they'll do for me for most of the winter, apart from trails where I will wear some Merrell. Okay, but I just find it's really useful. And my final takeaway from this is that, let's be very clear, we have evolved to be on these feet, and makes you a lot more aware of how you move, regardless of how fast you are. You may be a really fast runner, but I've got clips of very, very fast runners resetting their bodies in a very easy, relaxed stride with their bare feet. Okay, so use it as a tool. I don't obsess about it, but I think it's a very good practice to do. So your feet will get strong. Your kinetic chain will you become more aware of that. It will develop. Your lower legs will develop, so be careful with this one. Your knees do not hurt. You don't get blisters. Okay? You'll be fine. So please don't worry, but don't do too much to begin with. All right? And one other thing you'll notice is that there's not a huge amount of bobbing either. And I just think with that body position here, I'll just do that. With that body position here, in that forward sense of forward fall, there's a nice sense of balance. So I just think it's a good thing to do. Public, so I can share this to people who are interested in this without me having to do a whole long dialogue over time. You might be watching this and thinking, oh, so I'm 56 years old, I'm 6'1", I'm about 85, 90 kilos. I used to be a javelin thrower 400-meter guy many years ago, not listed. And I've kept moving and doing sports all my life. So it's not a question of me being a runner of any repute, but my favourite running is fell running, hills, mud. I do not like road running at all, just to let you know what sort of person and what sort of runs I tend to do. Okay, so that makes a difference as well. All right, take care, everybody.